When to titrate up on Mounjaro weight loss. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've got Mr. Freddie, my co-host today. We're gonna dive in when to titrate up on your Mounjaro injection for Mounjaro weight loss, which could be applicable to if you're taking compounds, like a Tirzepatide compound, semaglutide compound, or even for WEGOVY. It's similar for the GLP-1 medications, that same concept of titrating up. For Mounjaro, it's from the maker of Mounjaro, from the maker of Eli Lilly. They also now just got FDA approved for Zepbound weight loss. So Mounjaro is technically approved, FDA approval for type 2 diabetes. It has been prescribed off-label for weight loss. Zepbound is now the FDA approval for chronic obesity management and is rolling out from manufacturer Eli Lilly. Novo Nordisk is the competitor of Eli Lilly and has WEGOVY and Ozempic. Same concept, approved for weight loss, chronic obesity management versus type 2 diabetes. And then there's compounds of that as well, Tirzepatide for Mounjaro and Zepbound, and then semaglutide for WEGOVY and Ozempic. Let's dive in. Tip 1, you don't have to titrate up. Let me just put that out there again before I even start. I am not a medical professional. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. I do not pretend to play doctor on the internet. I'm not one, nor do I pretend to play one. This is all simply my experience, strength, and hope to encourage you. Take what you want, leave the rest. Always talk with your own healthcare provider for your medical conditions and healthcare needs. This is simply my experience and hopefully encourage you. My whole thing here at Countess of Shopping is to encourage and uplift you. So let's dive in. So you don't have to titrate up. There's Mounjaro 2.5 milligram dose to start with, and Zepbound, the starting dose is Zepbound 2.5 milligrams. You do not have to titrate up past that. In fact, in my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, and it's Zepbound folks are in there, some semaglutide weight loss, Tirzepatide weight loss, WEGOVY weight loss, all are welcome at that table. Just make sure you answer all of the questions, because literally there was 50 spammers earlier today that I did not approve to come into the group. If you don't answer the questions, you won't be admitted into that group. But there's 5,000 plus. It's an awesome, amazing, it's awesome. If you need accountability, encouragement, it's awesome. But in there, one of our group members, she has not titrated off. She's lost a ton of weight by staying on 2.5 milligrams of Mounjaro. Is that the case for everybody? No. But could that be the case for you? Potentially. There is that option that you do not have to titrate up. And if you've seen my other videos, I have done a series on the dark side of Mounjaro, meaning what happens when you do get to the highest dose of Mounjaro, which is 15 milligrams, or Zepbound, which is 15 milligrams. What do you do then? What do you do then? And so you can see that video down in my Mounjaro weight loss playlist. So tip number 1, you don't have to titrate up. You don't. It is not a race to get to 15 milligrams, the highest dose. It is not. It is not. In fact, slow and steady wins the race. There have been studies done on, there's some serious side effects with Mounjaro, Zepbound, WEGOVY, semaglutide, Tirzepatide of gallbladder attacks and pancreatitis and other serious side effects. Some of those potentially could have been triggered because of titrating up too quickly. So be mindful. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. GLP-1 medications, they can have serious side effects. And then they also have common side effects like gastrointestinal issues and things like that. That's totally norm. I have down in the description link below my 17 side effects of Mounjaro and Tirzepatide if you want to check that out as well too, just to see are these common? Because it probably, it is. A bunch of them are. Okay, so my biggest tip for you, the biggest enchilada of when I have known, and then I talk with my medical health provider, because I am not a medical health provider, I talk with my own healthcare provider, is when my food chatter comes back. And people will ask me, what's food chatter? And I say food noise. And they say, what's food noise? And I say, where you have food consuming thoughts. If you don't have that, I'm such an oddball. But then I realized I'm not an oddball. There's so many people who are just like me. There's thousands of us there in my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group down on the description link below. But in general here on YouTube that are oh yeah, I totally understand what food chatter is, food noise, that food consuming thoughts. That Mounjaro for me, it puts it on a pause. Those consuming thoughts of food, pause. And It's, in fact, that food chatter and noise has been one of the things I've been so successful in so many areas of my life, with an amazing hot husband, the Count, the amazing Duke, being a wife and a mother and being successful at that, and running multiple multi-million-dollar businesses, and being successful with my career and relationships, but not being able to get this weight thing down of what a difference Mounjaro has made on my A1Cs and my weight loss has been crazy. But that food chatter. So titrating up for me has always been, when does the food noise come back? And then off of that, the caveat off of that too is, am I near my period? So for example, I had, my period has been jacked, and I've talked about these in other YouTube videos. My Oura Ring, which I'll link down below. I think there's a sale going on with it too, as is my whole Mounjaro Amazon shopping list. If you just want to go to Amazon and buy, here's my protein powder, and here's my collagen, and here's my tumblers, and here's my scale, and the corresponding smart digital tape. I highly recommend that, because if you are having a weight stall, you can use that smart tape also as an additional measurement tool, and it all syncs together with the scale into your phone. You can buy them separately or together. Anyways, on my Oura Ring, it said, your period's coming, and it told me it was coming early, and I'm like, there's no way. But my periods have been so jacked on Mounjaro with Tirzepatide weight loss, and so I didn't believe it. But that night I had some chocolate and a bag of chips, little bag of chips, which is, I usually don't keep that stuff in my house. But it was there, and I went to go eat it, and I didn't have guilt, shame, or condemnation over it. I was like, oh, I really wanted that. But then come to find out, it's because my period was coming early. My Oura Ring was right. My calendar was not right. My Oura Ring was right. It knew, which was crazy, by the way. If you're doing ovulation or trying to get pregnant, I'm fascinated. You just don't know what you don't know. Like, it tells you all this stuff about my body I had no idea about. But I digress. So going back over that appetite suppression, or that food chatter, that food noise, if I'm around my cycle, like that also, like, don't run to go titrate up for me, I use my I statements. I don't run to my medical health provider, which, by the way, I have an incredible telehealth company and compound pharmacy. The telehealth company prescribes both brand name, meaning Mounjaro, WEGOVY, Ozempic, and then they also prescribe compounds. So if your health insurance, for example, is not covering it, there's compounds available for Tirzepatide, semaglutide weight loss. It is the cheapest pricing on the market. I've done my price cost benefit analysis. However, they do third-party testing in the highest quality. So I will link that and my whole article on the best telehealth company down in the description link below. But that same company does ship compounds as well. Okay, going back over, just because I have not having appetite suppression, meaning my period came, that would not be a reason to run to my medical health provider to titrate up on my prescription. That's where I need to give it some time, right? If you're under a stressful situation, part of my job is I run a media publishing company, and during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, very stressful. I was up at 3 a.m. both of those days. I was on air live streaming for one of my clients, iRobot and Amazon, and it was stressful. It was stressful. And so my appetite was whacked out from that. Do I give myself extra grace during that? Of course. But that also, so the reason why I'm using that as an example for you, because I want to give you encouragement, is if you're under a stressful season, that also may alter your appetite, which you need to talk to your healthcare provider about that titrating up. Is it stress that's causing that, and maybe mitigating the stress with more meditation and more dog walks, walking Mr. Freddy, or things like that? He's in Froggy, by the way, just for you guys. He is in Fright, which means he's very comfortable. We just went for a very long walk. One of my ways to, because Mounjaro is about lifestyle changes, is walking my dogs or our foster. We love to foster dogs. So that appetite suppression, that's not necessarily a thing, but here's the biggest secret. And if you've stayed to this part, you are in for, I should have said at the beginning, this is like the biggest bombshell, is the rotating of injection sites. You may not need to titrate up at all. In fact, I would encourage you, if I had known this when I first started Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, it's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I had rotated my injection sites, because Mounjaro, on the Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro, tells us on their literature to rotate our sites, the back of our arm and the subcutaneous fat, our tummies, the belly button. It gives you the purple diagram in the box that you get your Mounjaro. It shows you on the diagram with the purple where to inject, or the upper part of your thigh. It's very specific as to where you want to do those. Don't just anywhere in your thigh. Use the diagram that Eli Lilly gives you for the Mounjaro injection. And for GLP-1 medications like WEGOVY, they give instructions. So with that, I have found for me rotating those site injections, you can get a ton of side effects. I know I have. In our group, in my free group, thousands of people talking about, oh man, I tried to do the back of my arm and I got really bad side effects. Or I had massive appetite suppression. Or it changed that food chatter. That food chatter that I had by injecting in my thigh stopped. Now, I have linked down below an article I wrote talking about the different injection sites on that, my rotation system that I do, because I don't just do like my arm, like left arm, right arm. I'll do my left arm, the left side of my stomach, the left side of my thigh, the right side of my thigh, the right side of my stomach, right side of my arm. But then I'll go back and do different sides. Maybe I do on the upper back part, like where the diagram tells you, where Eli Lilly tells you. I'll go back and maybe do like the top or the bottom that's different, right? Because you don't want to keep injecting in the same spot because you'll get scar tissue. And for me, again, my body is different than yours, but for me, my experience, strength, and hope has been rotating those sites with those, has caused me to not have to titrate up, just simply by rotating better. On Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams, I just did my stomach. I didn't do anywhere else. I was terrified. I was literally shaking the first time I did my injection. I was like with my pen, my Mounjaro pen. And then now I'm like more comfortable. I'm like, let's move along. And then for, I believe it was 5 milligrams, I think I started to be bold enough near like week 7 or week 8. I gotta go look. I started doing my thigh. I didn't start doing my arm until much later. I was terrified. I was like, it's gonna hurt so badly. It didn't. Botox hurts way worse. My Botox injections hurt way worse. It really, for me, does not. And again, everybody's different, but really it's like just not. It's not. And having that rotation of those injection sites with my Mounjaro injection has been a game changer. Game changer. Speaking of game changer, I do want to tell you, I just noticed, I hadn't told you this. I have switched up my magnesium. I used to refer you guys a different magnesium. I have subsequently switched. I will link it down in the description link below. It actually has all 7 magnesiums in it. As opposed to one or two. It had 1, and I wanted all 7 because so many studies are coming out about how important magnesium is, and I take mine at night. Okay, going back to the appetite suppression. If you're having a weight stall, which I had a weight stall for 2 months. You guys have seen, you can go back through my Mounjaro weight loss playlist. I had a weight stall for 2 months. I had to really, because this is about lifestyle changes, a lot of y'all in the comments gave me tough love. Cloak, I'm looking at you. And in the private group, I'm also looking at you too, in the Mounjaro weight loss group, because many of you are like, Elizabeth, have you made lifestyle changes? How is your food the way that are you having enough protein? And so I'm like, taking an honest self-inventory and self-appraisal, no. I'm living these same old habits. I'm having appetite suppression with Mounjaro, but Mounjaro is but a tool. It's not the end all be all. And eventually for me, as I have titrated up and seen, I have evidence of it wears off. And that's very scary of that when that food chatter comes back. And for me, knowing it's going to come back, I'm on Mounjaro 15 milligrams. What am I going to do to navigate through this, right? Like navigating through, I need to change my lifestyle. And so making these food modifications has been crazy, and it's been amazing. It's been hard. It's been like the best and worst. I've learned so much about myself. I'm like, how can I be so successful in so many areas of my life, but really have such a hard time with this? But it's actually not as hard. Like I'm realizing like it's hard, but easy. I'm actually kind of digging in the hard right now because I'm learning so much about myself, but that's for a video for another day. The point that I'm trying to say is I ended up hiring a GLP-1 dietitian. She's amazing. She has a membership program. It is well worth every penny because it got me past my weight stall because I realized I was not having enough protein, which for me, I have to have 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. It's a lot. Which is why you want to see some of my other what I eat in a day videos. I have them down in the playlist below. And so changing my protein and then having way more fiber through fruits and vegetables. I realized I was not eating enough vegetables, like not at all, which is why if you saw my last What I Eat in a Day video using frozen sheet pan vegetables, organic vegetables, you don't have to do organic, but is a game changer. A, they're way less expensive. B, the time savings. C, getting the nutrition dense food through those vegetables. I am loving, and my family loves sheet pan green beans, the short ones or the long ones, like the French beans or the short ones. Broccoli, it's really easy to do. And then I just have a lean protein. But like all of that changed because of the weight stall. And you're like, how does this relate to Mounjaro titrating up, changing my dose? How do I change my dose on Mounjaro? It does, because if you're having a weight stall like I was, or I was hungry, it's because I wasn't eating enough protein. So have you checked your nutrient dense foods, eating enough like fruits and vegetables, and having enough protein? For me, it's 100 to 120 grams. When I got brutally honest, because some of y'all lovingly made me get brutally honest with myself, and it opened my eyes like, gosh, I'm not having nearly enough protein. That's a game changer. And by the way, I do need to say this. I feel compelled right now this wasn't part of my thing I was going to talk about, but I feel compelled and called right now to say it. So I'm going to say it because clearly someone needs to hear this. I drink a ton of protein shakes and protein bars, and I still do on occasion. Like I still do actually really enjoy barbell protein bars. I'll link those down below. Oh, he's going to flip out. The FedEx guy's coming. He is going to flip out. Shh, Mr. Freddy. And I drink a lot of these packaged proteins. It's okay. I eat more now, like a fresh turkey breast that I made and roasted in my house, or chicken or things like that, more lean proteins, because my gastrointestinal issues, if I have a ribeye or higher fat proteins, it affected my tummy more. And so I need to have way, way, way more packaged foods when I first started versus what I do now. But I still love my Ninja Creamy, which by the way is on sale at Walmart. I'll link it down below. Massively on sale. To make protein ice cream. Excuse me. Those are my main. So going back over, also titrating up to, I think some people think it's like the golden ticket of, oh my God, like slow and steady wins the race. If I can communicate anything from my experience, strength, and hope, is that slow and steady wins the race. I kind of wish I had gone a little bit slower, but also I'm also grateful where I am. I did my Mounjaro 15 milligrams for the first time this past week. How many days has this been? It's been 5 days. And I don't have crazy appetite suppression. You know why? I injected it in my stomach. You know why I injected it in my stomach with 15 milligrams? Because I titrated up from Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams to Mounjaro 15 milligrams. I injected in my stomach because I knew from my body, because I tracked my cadence and rhythm, which if you want my tracker, it's free. It's not on the description link below, my free tracker. I tracked that, and I knew that my stomach was not going to give me as much side effects. But on the flip side, I don't have as many side effects, but I don't have as high appetite suppression. And so for me, I've noticed these patterns right through the tracking of it, because GLP-1 medications like Mounjaro, WEGOVY, Zepbound, or the compounds, Tirzepatide or semaglutide compounds, we don't know. And so learning for your own body, I think, is a really important part of this journey. It's been amazing for me to learn, like, I am freaking strong. I am strong. I am strong in my body. I thought I was always strong, and I knew I was strong in other areas of my life, but in terms of my body, I am strong, and you're strong too. It's not just for me, it's for you too. You're strong too. And if you don't believe that strongness, you can lean into my belief into you. And come join that free group. You'll get way more encouragement to help you actually believe, as opposed to believing into my encouragement, that you'll actually believe it for yourself. Because I've seen it so many times. It's been so cool being on this journey with you. I am so grateful for our Countess of Shopping community. The depth and width in which our community is, it literally makes me weep. It makes me so grateful. I'm so grateful for y'all. I started 11 plus months ago on this journey, losing 71 pounds. Like, this is crazy. This is amazing. And this is crazy and beautiful all rolled into one. So a couple things. One, if you haven't gotten my Mounjaro Amazon shopping list, that is down below. I have some of my favorite things, including my favorite loose skin cream. I am obsessed with this stuff. Nothing takes care of loose skin, but loose skin surgery. But this sure does help. It sure does help, and it makes me feel more confident in my skin, and it actually is amazing for crepey skin too. It's really, really helpful. Two, we've talked a lot about like fiber supplements and things like that too. Make sure you read that blog post down below. I have so many. I already have 50 articles on countessofshopping.com, my blog post related back to Mounjaro, weight loss, Tirzepatide, weight loss, all things GLP-1 medication for encouragement for you. My goal is to have 100 articles for you in this month. So we got a lot of science-based data coming out for you too. So you want to check that out. That's updated pretty much every day. And then 3, if you haven't seen that Zepbound savings card, if you're on Mounjaro right now, we've been talking about this a lot in the free encouragement group of people switching from Mounjaro to Zepbound. Will it be covered by insurance? What does the savings card look like? Is that savings card the same as the Mounjaro savings card or Mounjaro coupon? Is the Zepbound coupon the same? Talked about that a bunch. Read that article down below. And if you've made it this far in the video, we do a little thing here at Countess of Shopping where we put emojis down. It helps me get to know your username better and you better. There's one of me, thousands of you, but I can do I'm good at pattern recognition. So I'll notice your name popping up and I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you. Every person who comments that sunshine, I will uplift you in sunshine in a moment of thinking about you and praying for you too. And make sure you check out my playlist as well if you haven't already done so. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. As we go through a couple of caveats too, there'll probably be updates to this video to always go back to my disclaimer, talk with your own medical healthcare professional. This is simply but my experience, strength, and hope to encourage you. That's my whole goal of Countess of Shopping, to help, encourage, motivate, inspire. So I want to know along that thread, what is your action item for this week? What are you going to do to move you closer to your weight loss goals? Tell me in the comments below. For me, it's going to be walking every day. I've been really good at, even though it's cold, it's been like 30 degrees here in Virginia. I've been walking every day, walking the dogs. That's been huge. And then continuing meal prep. So I can't wait to show you guys this week's What I Eat in a Day video. It's so good. There's so many good inspiring recipes in there too. Okay, my friends, love you. See you later. Bye.